for all the time that we spend talking about academia, the reality is the cost of higher education is ridiculously prohibitive for a lot of people. And that's coming from a guy who works behind the wall, behind the gate. I'm in higher education, and even I'm looking around saying like, you know, if my students weren't of a particular background or socioeconomic class, they'd have a really hard time getting into this position. So that's one of the reasons why I've also put time into education and outreach initiatives like this massive open online Shark course, MOOC, MOOC. We just call it Shark MOOC, massive open online course. And is it as comprehensive and in-depth as a college shark biology course? No, but of course the flip side is because it's online, we can go off and shoot videos in remote parts of the world, or we have colleagues who will send us videos from remote parts of the world, or they'll Skype or Zoom in and we'll interview them. So students can take this course for free. All you need is an internet connection. And you can Google it. You can go to Shark MOOC, and it's offered usually once a year in the summer. And like I said, it's free. Now, if you want to use it for continuing education credits, you can do that. We have a verified track where you can pay a little money and get a certificate at the end of it. But all the core content is there for learners to access for free for the 4 weeks during the summer that it's up and running, because sharks are so fascinating and they're so interesting and wonderful, and learning about them can be so much fun, and you get the enthusiasm of all the people who are doing the shark research, and it starts to snowball. And that should not be limited to the people who can pay tuition. That should be something that everybody who has an interest can pursue that.
Let's back up. Can you talk a little bit about the genesis of how the whole Shark MOOC started, how you got involved with it?
Yeah. So I had just finished my master's with Willie Bemis at Cornell. And it was at a time, 2014, when Cornell, forward thinking as they were at the time, said, look, the face of higher education is changing. You know, you're going to get to a point where people are going to be taking more and more courses online. They're going to want a wider variety of courses. So we have an initiative for faculty members to develop these massive open online courses. And at that point, it was very fortuitous because I was looking at Willie and Willie was looking at me, and we were at that awkward sort of, okay, what next? You got the master's done, but what's next for you? And so Willie said, well, hey, why don't we take advantage of this initiative? And so we pitched the idea of this free shark course. And that's one of the things about sharks. You say sharks and people tend to perk up and they go, what, sharks? You know, you don't have to convince people that other people will find it interesting. Now, of course, sometimes that's a double-edged sword, because when you start applying for funding or things like that, or you really want to be taken seriously in the ichthyological community, the people will sort of look at you and say, oh, you're a shark biologist. You're one of those, where's your cowboy hat? That kind of thing. But by and large, the upside is, hey, if I tell you that I study sharks, I guarantee you're going to have a shark story to tell me. Oh, really? I watched Shark Week. I saw Jaws. Whatever. So there was the interest there. There was the opportunity. Cornell was willing to put up some of the seed funding for development. And then Willie and I just went wild, and we said, okay, we have 4 weeks to work with. Let's start with shark evolution and systematics, and we'll transition to anatomy and physiology. Then we'll look at neurobiology and behavior, and then we'll look at conservation and shark-human interaction. So we'll touch a wide variety of topics. So there's a little something there for everybody.